Okay, good everyone. So welcome to the Creative Digital Hub, and today I'll be talking about prompts, and I'll just go straight to the point. So I currently manage a community, a WhatsApp community titled AI for Everybody. It's a community that everybody is allowed in. If you're interested in learning about AI, if you're interested in learning about the tools and how to use the tools to tell stories, especially, because I'm into storytelling, and that's basically what my passion. You are welcome to join the group. So basically, recently I posted a prompt as regards storytelling, because before then I had taken a class, I had done some training in collaboration with some organizations, and it was titled Scripts to Screen. And the goal of that journey was basically to teach people how to develop scripts and then translate them into visual animation that can be put on YouTube and the rest of them, and used to tell stories. Because I believe when it comes to the way the world is going right now, storytelling is a powerful tool to create awareness and to drive a particular agenda, personal or organizational. So I had put a prompt up there, and let me just mention this. This is a disclaimer, because you have to understand that when it comes to storytelling, different people approach storytelling in different ways. And you have to find what works best for you. So the prompts that I had put in the group is basically something I had worked on over and over again for a while. Because when it comes to storytelling and developing something that connects with you and aligns with what you want, because we all have different needs, we all have different interests, you have to keep testing and testing until you find something that works for you. And even then, even after you found something that works for you, you will still have to keep developing it, because change is constant. So I'll just put up my phone now and then read the prompt I had put up there. So what I had put up there, the prompt I had put up was, using the write-up above, write a sad Reddit story, an African story about a girl that went on a journey that changed her life. The story has to be based on realistic events. The language needs to be super simple and not flowery or preachy. Do not use complicated words. Now, here's the thing. I believe personally that we are in an age where jargons, big words, just it's not necessary anymore. I usually, when I take my trainings and when I handle programs, I usually tell my audience that, look, if you are communicating in a way that a 5-year-old will not understand, then you are not communicating at all. Which means that you must communicate in a way that a 5-year-old can actually understand what you're trying to communicate. So using big words, being preachy, using flowery language, using flowery words, it just complicates things, and it makes people lose focus and attention, especially when you are trying to grab their attention. So when it comes to this write-up, the first part, using the write-up above, basically tells you that before you use this particular prompt, you must have developed a sample of the story you want to tell. Basically, what that means is you must learn to give ChatGPT direction, as like point it in the right way you want it to go. Because you can't just put up a topic and then expect ChatGPT to do something awesome for you. Yes, ChatGPT will bring up something for you. ChatGPT will say, as like we bring up a script, for you. But the thing is, I can bet you 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, it won't align with what you're looking for. It won't align with what connects with you in there. Because the goal is to connect with your story. If you can't connect with your story, how do you expect your audience to connect with your story? So having said that, before you um, use this prompt, ensure you must have written down your thoughts of the kind of story you want to tell. Like, you must have written, it doesn't have to be 2 pages. It can be like a half page or a one pager. The goal is to have a sample that you upload on ChatGPT and then use this prompt to give ChatGPT direction. For example, if you want to write a story about abuse in marriages, men versus women, women versus men, you can first, draw an idea of what you have, an idea of what you want your story to be like. Write it out, just flow with it. You don't have to use technology to come up with that. Just, I'm sure each and every one of you watching this right now, at one point in time, you must have heard of a story of abuse, whether the man was beating the woman, or the woman was beating the man, or the man or the woman was verbally using language to like intimidate the man, or the man was using money to like intimidate the woman. You know, one way or the other, you must have heard something of abuse, or something that went down in marriage. You know, and then you can use that to like develop a sample document, a sample script. You know, don't complicate it, don't overthink it, just develop it. You know, and when you have done that, then you can now take this prompt and then use that to amplify and expand your script using ChatGPT. Now, what this is when it's going further, it says using the write up above, write a sad Reddit story. Now, Reddit is a platform where people upload their experiences, people upload content. It's a very rich platform. You know, another platform that actually does that also is Quora. You know, Quora and Reddit are platforms where people upload their experiences. If you are looking for an experience that you are trying to write a script on, this prompt will actually help you write a script. What it will do is it will go through the internet, go through Reddit, and then extract a story of someone who had uploaded his experiences on that platform, you know, and then use that. It will combine that and then your sample script. It will combine the two and produce a script that you can use for to tell your story, you know. But here's the thing: it's not every experience that is on Reddit that is actually true. Some people post fictions, you know, they are not really true stories, you know. So you have to. That's why in the prompt I said the story has to be based on realistic events. One thing you have to understand when it comes to ChatGPT is you have to be intentional about what you want from ChatGPT. You don't just post any random thing there. You have to be intentional. I prefer telling my stories that are telling stories that are realistic. What I do is I take the story, I remove the real characters and put in fictional characters. You know, that way I protect the people that actually went through the ordeal. You know, they remain anonymous. You know, so that is one thing that you have to look at also. If you're looking to work with fictional characters, that's fine. If you're looking to work with realistic events, you have to be specific. You have to be specific in your prompt. For me, the prompt is the foundation. That is the ground level. That is the foundation. You know, so you have to be intentional about what you put in there. As I said, let me read it again. Using the write up above, that is the sample. Write a sad Reddit story because my intention was to like draw up the sad experiences, extract sad experiences, and use that to form a story. So I was specific. If I wanted a happy story, then I would have said, write a happy Reddit story. You know, it's all about tweaking your prompt. I said, write a sad Reddit story, an African story about a girl that went on a journey that changed her life. Now, I am specific about the gender, the continent where the story should be coming from, and as like the gender and the continent where the story is coming from. So if I because I specifically look at I'm a Nigerian, so and an African, so I want to bring stories home. I don't want to be telling somebody else's story from another continent entirely. So I focus on my where I'm coming from and the stories that I want to tell. So if I wanted it to be a Nigerian, I would have said a Nigerian story, but I wanted to go broader, and then it's I now said an African story. And then we went further to say the story has to be based on realistic events. The language needs to be super simple and not flowery or preachy. Do not use complicated words because if you lead ChatGPT will be putting on jargons, putting using terms, using languages that your own audience will not even be able to grab. And listen to me carefully. Understand this. The average attention span of any adult is 10 seconds. I repeat, the average attention span of any adult is 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, we get distracted easily. because we live in a very noisy environment, a very noisy society. So we get distracted easily, So once we are struggling to understand what you're saying, once you are struggling to understand your content, once you are struggling to like grab what you're trying to say, we'll just find the next thing that our brain can easily pick up, and then we move on. And then you have lost my interest at that point in time. So you have to be intentional about the prompt you are using for your stories. So if you have any question, if you feel that I did not touch anything, any question you have, just drop it in the comments, and then I will definitely approach it one way or the other. Because I don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want to like keep you guys here for too long. So having said that, thank you very much for like hanging out with me, and good luck on your storytelling. Bye.